This is a short video that's going to show you how the itinerary routing works. So the itinerary calculates the best route between a series of points. And what we've got here is the school location, which is the big red dot. And then what we've got is a selection of special educational needs pupils that are required to be picked up by the local authority and returned to the school. So the itinerary tool is a new tool that is part of the routing tools. And what you'll see is that it's accessible right down at the bottom, and as you can see, it calculates a route between a series of points. So what we can do is open it up, and what we've got is a wizard-driven dialog that allows us to specify the configurable start point and the route locations and the measurement options and things like this. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to set a start location. So we can enter a coordinate, or you can use the first location in the list, or you can use the currently selected item. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the map, and I'm going to click near my school so that it allocates the nearest possible network point. And what we're doing currently is we're using the integrated transport network to identify the quickest route that we've got in front of us. So what we can then do is specify the route locations. So I'm going to say that we're going to select our locations by the SEN pupils, and we've got these identified by a address. We can specify a maximum snap distance, so how far we're going to look for the network away from each point. So we've set this at 1,000. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say that we want to use our ITN road speed expression, and we can click next. And the system tells us where it's going to start, and then what we can do is we can add locations from a list. So I'm going to add all of these different pupils into this list, and then click OK. And when we've done that, we can say we want to next that. And then what we're going to do is we are going to have the output configuration as well. So we can say that we want to close the route back to the starting point because the bus is going to start at the school and finish at the school. The system will calculate the optimum route. So it's telling us that there are 362,000 potential routes. Now, as you can imagine, the more points you have, the longer it's going to take to work this out. So there is a restriction of about 20 points on this because of the different algorithms that need to be created in the back. But this 8 points should work quite well. So 362, we can calculate the optimum route. It's going to go away and search through all the different routes. And what we'll see is we've now got lines between them, so we can identify which route it's going to take. And then our final output, we can say that we want to display the route on a map. We're going to output this to a CSV, and I'm going to save this on my desktop. And as part of this output, we also want to include directions. And what I can do is click Finish. And as you'll see, it creates all of the different routes with a red line. We can then turn our schools off and our SEN pupils off. And if we zoom in, you can see that where we've started, where point 1 is, where point 2 is, and how far it was taken. So that identifies it on a map. And then what we can do is we can go to our CSV that has got the route numbers. So we can say this is the starting point and this was the X and Y. We've then gone to 14 Fitz Avenue, which is the east and the north end. We've got the length and the time, and then it also gives us a list of directions as well. So that's how easy it is to create an itinerary route from the routing toolbar.